Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to take you through the steps of creating a simple application, very simple, and the goal here is to show you how post requests work in Express, how we create routes that are listening for post requests, and then how we can test them with Postman, and then lastly, how we can write a form on a different Express template and have that form make a post request to our Express app. So as I mentioned, we are going to make a simple application together, and I am going to start from scratch and install and include Express, and then we'll get going on the actual application logic. So I'm going to start now and just make a new directory, which I'll call post request demo, and we'll cd into that, and we'll run npm init, and we'll just hit enter a few times, change entry point, okay, there we go. We have our package.json. Let's now install Express, -- save. And while we're here, let's npm install EJS as well and save that. Okay, now let's create our app.js, and then we will open that up and add in our basic Express code we need. So we're going to import it with require, and then create an app variable where we execute Express. And while we're here, we'll also do app.set view engine to be EJS, and we'll save that. And then we'll also do our app.listen at the bottom, and inside of here we'll do process.env.port and process.env.ip and our callback function. And then lastly, we'll just do a very simple console.log server started. Okay, so we have that set up. Now let's create our route, just like that. And we'll just render a template for now, res.render called home, just like that, and save. Now let's make that template. So we need a views directory, make directory views, and we need to touch a file, views/home.ejs, and then we'll open that file. And inside of there, we'll do a simple h1 that says home page, just like that. And we'll make sure that works. So let's run node app.js, go back here, refresh, and we get homepage. Okay, so we have the basic skeleton set up. We have Express included, we have EJS included, we've set the default view engine, and we have our route. The app that we're going to make is basically a list of friends, or a friends list that you can then go in and through a form, you can add a new friend to your list. And this could be anything, friends or to-dos or contacts or dogs, just something that we're going to have a list of that we then can create a new one using a form. So we'll do friends, and we're going to add in app.get/friends, and this will be the page, the template that shows a list of friends. And inside of here, we're going to do a res.render, and we'll just call it friends. And now we need to create that template. So we'll do touch views/friends.ejs, and then open that file, just like that. And inside of here, we'll add another h1 and just write friends list goes here. And we'll run our server, make sure that it works. If we go to /friends, we get friends list goes here. Okay, so what we're going to do is display a list of friends. And so we need to create that list. We need the data. So I'm going to create an array of friends names, and it's going to be very simple. Just var friends equals, and we'll just add in a few names here like Tony, Miranda, Justin, Pierre, and Lily. Okay, so we have an array of friends, and then we're going to pass that array of friends through to our friends template, where we'll then loop through and display each friend as a list item. So we need to pass that in, Remember, it's an object. And we have two things we need to do. We need to give it a name or a property that we'll use to look it up in the view, which I would just call friends. And our data that we're passing in is also friends, which is confusing when you're just starting out, but this is what you'll see most often, where you just use the same name. But remember, this can be anything at all. And this refers to our friends array right here. Okay, so now let's go to the template, friends.ejs, and add in our loop. And I'm gonna do a for each. So I'll just write the regular JavaScript first without the brackets, without the EJS. So we have friends.forEach function, and our function will take friend as the parameter there. And then we have our opening, closing curly braces, just like that. And inside of here, what we'll do is make an li for each one that says I have a friend, just like that. Now let's go back and add in the braces that we need. No equal sign, remember. This is just for logic. We don't want anything to show up on these two lines. So we have that done. And if we save and refresh, we should see an li that says I have a friend for every friend in that list. And let's try that out. Make sure we don't have any errors. Refresh the page. And we get 5 list items that say I have a friend. Now we'll go back again, and rather than just saying I have a friend, let's actually print the friend's name. So this time we do need the equal sign because we want the value that's evaluated to be added to the HTML itself right here. We want it to be replaced with the value of friend, which is coming from right here in our for each. Again, this can be anything, name it whatever we want, X. And if I put X here, it will work. So let me just show you that, refresh, and we get our 5 friends. And because X is a terrible variable name, I'm going to go back to friend, just like that. Restart the server one more time, and you can see nothing changes. Okay, so we have this list of friends. Now what we're going to do is talk about setting up the post route. The goal in the end is to have a form at the bottom of this page, and we can type in a name into that form and hit the submit button, and it will then add a new friend to our list. So we'll be pushing a new name into the friends array and then rendering this template again, which will then add a new bullet point, a new list item for that newly added friend. We need to start by setting up a post route. And remember that we use a post route anytime we are adding data to something. When we're sending data through and we want to add it to the database, whether we're signing up a user or we're creating a new comment or we're creating a new post, or in this case, a new friend, a post route is what makes the most sense. Although it isn't the only option, but for now we're going to treat it as if it is the only option. So a get is just for retrieving information, and a post is for sending new data to be added or to be used somehow on the server side. And all we need to write is app.post, and the name of the route, let's call it add friend, just like that. And it looks the same with the request and response. And we'll leave it as this for now. And inside, we'll just do a res.send. We won't make a template, just a res.send. You have reached the post route. Just like that. So now let's see if we can trigger this route, if we can hit it, add friend as a post request by using Postman. So I'm going to take this URL and copy this over to Postman. And where we want to make a request, we can start by just doing /friends as a GET request. And you'll see we get back our HTML with the 5 friends. But now let's make a post request, and we're making it to /add friend. And now if we send a post request, we get a message cannot post add friend, and that's for a silly reason. We need to restart the server anytime we add a new route. And now if we go back and send the request again, we get a message, you have reached the post route. So we're sending a post request, and we're doing it through Postman rather than using a form, but it's the same exact idea. It works the same way. We send a post request, and this code is being run right here. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is use a form to send that post request. So I'm going to go to the friends.ejs page, and at the bottom, I'll add a form, and this form will submit to that route. So remember, there are 2 important attributes. There's action and then method. So let's start with method. We want to send a post request, and action is the URL, which is /add_friend. And again, that needs to match this right here, /add_friend as a post. All right, and inside of here, we're going to have a single input, type equals text. And then we also want to have a placeholder that says name or whatever we want to put there. That's just the placeholder text. And then we'll also add a button at the end. And this will just say, I made a new friend, and save that. And so this will create a form for us right now. If I restart the server and I go back and I refresh the page, I now have a form here. And if we inspect it, it has those two attributes where we have action is add friend, method is post, and it has a single input. And if I type something into here, I made a new friend today named Bob, and I click I made a new friend, you can see that we're getting that response. You have reached the post route, which means that we are sending a post request and that we're sending it to the right place, /add_friend. But we're not doing anything in that route aside from responding with this message. And what we actually want to do is take the data from the form. We want to take Bob, and then we want to add it to the friends array. And then we want the user to come back to this page where they can see Bob as a new bullet point.